Friends, welcome to my workplace at Ranaghat, West Bengal, India. This is a cataract with iridodialysis at 6 o'clock. There is a history of trauma. The patient is young, about 30 years old. Let us observe management of this case. The main incision and two side ports have been made, and now the cataract is almost white. So I plan to stain the anterior capsule with trypan blue dye. An air bubble is injected. Beneath this air bubble, trypan blue dye is applied over the anterior capsule. Care is taken so that the dye touches all parts of the anterior capsule. The dye is washed out. If we wash out the dye, there is uniform density of the dye all around. If we don't wash, there may be more dense dye at some place, less dense dye at some other places, and that may cause some problem in visibility. The anterior capsule has been incised with a sharp needle because the zonule may be weak since there is history of trauma, and a rhexis is completed. Size of this rhexis is about 5.25 millimeter. Now hydrodissection is attempted. Suddenly an air bubble went inside the anterior chamber. We remove the air bubble and again attempt hydrodissection at multiple points. There is firm corticocapsular adhesion in this case, and the nucleus resists to rotate. The nucleus doesn't want to rotate. So I plan to take this pre-chopper, and without rotation I plan to divide the nucleus into two halves. As I do this, I find that with two instruments I can rotate the nuclear mass easily. I could not divide the heminucleus, which is at 12 o'clock, with the heminucleus at 6 o'clock could be divided into two parts. We have got three free fragments, one heminucleus and two fragments from on heminucleus. And now I use the phaco needle to pick off each fragment and emulsify. Ultrasonic energy used in this case is 60%, set at 60%. The ultrasound is delivered as much as required. It is controlled by foot switch. For cortex, I may be delivering only 10% ultrasonic energy. For nucleus, I may be delivering about 50% ultrasonic energy. It depends on how hard the lens matter is that occludes the phaco tip. This is the other heminucleus. It is divided into two pieces. Each nuclear piece is emulsified. The anterior capsule was stable and the posterior capsule behavior was okay. It didn't tend to come to the phaco tip. That means the zonule is not very weak in this case. because there is trauma, some genular fibers may be torn, but the other genular fibers, the remaining genular fibers are really strong. And now I remove the cortex very gently. I am using a 23 gauge Simcoe at this moment. I go through the left side port and remove the cortex from the right side from 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And now I ask for the irrigating cannula of bimanual IA. I hydrate the lens matter which is in the periphery, and now I use irrigation aspiration both to remove these loose lens fibers from the periphery. Whenever the lens matter sticks to the posterior capsule, it is a good idea to hydrate it with the irrigating jet of fluid from the irrigating cannula, and when it gets loosened up and gets detached from the posterior capsule, then we can easily remove it with the aspiration cannula. The bag is filled up with visco and a hydrophobic acrylic single piece monofocal intraocular lens is placed in the capsular bag. This is a lens from Bosch and Lomb. The name of the lens is Envista. The company claims that it is a glistening free intraocular lens, and I think it is true because I am using it for many years and I have not seen glistening in this lens. And now we are towards the end of the surgery. So in this case, what I want to emphasize is that whenever there is history of trauma, use of pre-chopper is a good idea because the geniole may be weak, some genular fibers may be torn, the nucleus may resist to rotate, and if we use Phaco needle to chop, there is lot of irrigation pressure of fluid, the bag is stressed too much and genular fibers are really stressed. So whenever there is weak geniole, we can think of using a pre-chopper. You can design your own pre-chopper. It's just like a chopper with front edge should be sharp, the rear edge should be blunt, length should be about 1.5 to 1.7 millimeter. The sustainer should be about same length 1.5 to 1.75 millimeter. You can design your own sustainer and pre-chopper and get it made from your manufacturer. The case is concluded here. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. Be a great surgeon and serve your patients with love, respect, empathy, and great surgical competence.